I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAS, and a double honor to the elders and apostles, a great millstone for pushing this truth. Barak the Yahawah, Barak the Yahawah, Barak the Yahawah, Barak the Yahawah, for your word, for your promise, for your judgment, even if I have to deal with my judgment, even though I have to deal with my judgment as we speak. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. And until I rest or receive salvation. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And now the visions are the prophecies of the times that we're living in now, the times that the elders and apostles have spoke on. And it's getting kind of hectic, and they know I got the power. Ain't know I got the power. Salakia.
Out in the desert, and 73,000 people trapped out in the desert, and
73,000 people. Get them, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAS. Get every single last. Get the people trying to walk away. Get them, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAS. They might get away, but they're contaminated. All right. So far, it's a 4-mile walk off of the main road to get to this place that they have constructed to do their abominable acts. Salakia. Salakia, my fault, y'all.
cannot get out, folks. There is a major incident happening in Nevada right now. You may have heard of the Burning Man Festival. Well, it has turned into chaos and a major disaster. We're going to be talking about what's happening out there, how it's instructional. But friends, this is going to be big news for the coming week, probably, because it's looking like it's going to get bad out there. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant, and we're covering stuff that the news media doesn't want to cover, and we're just starting to get a lot of this information.
But he's not covering the scriptures. Right? He's not covering the scriptures. 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, this has to do with the visions. Salakia. This has to do with Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right? So the prophet Habakkuk, he did the best that he could do with to write down the visions. All right, and they've been understood. They've been understood, and that's why you got to subscribe to GMS. Subscribe to GMS. 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come, that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in great number. Now, when it says in great number, of course, we know that an ICBM missile or a nuclear bomb could kill a mass amount of people. I don't know what this noise is. Anyway, but 73,000 people is a great number. And if you think of 73,000 people stuck, if you think of a tour bus or a Greyhound bus, that's only 85 seats. So you would need what, like 100 and something bite me. You would need like 120,000. 120,000 buses to try to evacuate them, and buses can't drive through it because it's going to get more stuck. So it is nothing for Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAS to judge the earth with just a quick flash flood rain in the desert. And it's been happening all over the world, but never where 73,000 people are trapped at one time. So far to date, I mean literally trapped. So far to date, it's only happened in Babylon the Great. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 1. Nevertheless, it's coming the tokens. Behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth, Salakia, that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of the truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Okay, so we're coming into the beginning of sorrows, the beginning of lamentation, mourning, and woes. This might very well be that great number, 73,000. 73,000 people. And I'm not even going to talk about what I keep seeing in the anyway, 73,000 people, man. Okay, that'll cause the land to be barren of faith. Okay, that'll cause the way of the truth to be hidden, because then that'll give people their chance to come in and with their mumbo jumbo and they shrimp noodle soup to serve to all of the people who want answers and whew. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. I had no idea that this was going on in the I don't want to mess it up and give it a nickname. Hot man, hot fire, fireman. Let's listen. Burning man.
Information trickling out on X or Twitter or whatever, and also we're starting to see, we are seeing some of the news media starting to cover this, but it is a big deal. So for Burning Man, they basically drive out into the middle of the wilderness to a dried up lake bed where they build a city for 1 week. 73,000 people have gone out up this 1-lane road, and then after they go up the 1-lane road, it's another 4 hours into the desert. Well, this dried up lake bed, well, it rained, and they now have 3 inches of mud, and in a lot of places it's a lot deeper. They've been told to shelter in place, that they are not to leave, and they have some...
They're on a lockdown. They're on the muddy FEMA camp now. All right, it's a federal emergency, and it's being managed by telling them to stay put, don't leave. They're on lockdown.
Big problems to deal with. Problem 1, they're in a lake bed, and it rained, and they're supposed to get more rain today. So it's not going away. They're waiting for it to dry out so that they can get out. This is the first year where they have a serious rainfall in the area, and it has turned everything into chaos. People cannot fly out. People cannot drive out. They're being told to stay in their tents because the mud, well, we're going to get into why that's really bad, is the mud is, that's number 2, the mud is toxic. And so...
The mud is toxic. YAHAWAS, get him. Get him, YAHAWAS. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 3. In the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see wasted suddenly. So it seemed as though America had root, but it's going to be wasted utterly. Excuse me. And burnt without fire. Excuse me. Verse 4, but if the Most High grant thee to live, because it's not promised. All right? It's not promised who's going to survive the make me think about the 12 apostles sitting on the throne judging. Well, Ezra's ain't getting I'm joking. But verse 4, but if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the 3rd trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. And blood shall drop out of wood, and stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled. And even he shall rule whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth. And the fowls shall take their flight away together. And the Sodomitish sea shall cast out fish. Sodomize. All right. Sodomitish sea shall cast out fish. Now, what was going on in this Burning Man festival was a whole lot of sodomitish men and women and lesbiano for the Hamano activity and Hamana. You hear that, whatever. When you hear them, you hear that, all that stuff. But verse 2 Ezra 5 and 7, and the sodomite sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof.
So the mud itself is extremely alkaline, and this is normally a problem because, you know, but they wear boots and all that kind of stuff like that, so that the inverse of acidic is alkaline, right? But it's just as bad, and it'll burn your skin. So this getting wet and then getting stuck on everybody is a really bad thing for them. So people can't just go out and walk through this stuff and wade through it. It's not just regular mud. It's extremely toxic and damaging. And the irony is pretty thick, folks. It's thick because some of their principles are radical self-reliance. And of course, this is basically a utopia that they build 1 week out of the year. There's no money. Everything's supposed to be given away.
And see, he's low-key laughing at him, and so is another prepper. Another prepper is laughing at him and saying, nah, let's see how they could survive for 3 weeks. He said they wanted to prove that they could go out in the middle of nowhere and set up a civilization. And then the end of the world came on them. He said, so let's see if they could survive. That was the Canadian prepper. But BAHASHAM YAHAWAS says that every morning he brings his judgment to light. So brings his judgment, okay, onto the earth. So, and I'm gonna get that scripture, I'm butchering it. So with that being said, 73,000 people had a hit on them all year, didn't know it. Had a hit on them all their life for this one specific day and didn't know it. We are in the days of judgment. For 73,000 people to get huddled all into one spot. Ooh, did the apostles and elders say do not go to those large gatherings? Stay away from these little baby concerts with the line wrapped around the back with the butt-naked butt cheeks have spotlight, put the spotlight on the butt cheek DC Go-Go song style? Nope. No, it's all of that right around the corner right now. Nope. Now, stay away from free Tuesday tacos. Stay away from free spaghetti night. Don't go to food spots when you got to be in the long line. It's getting crazy out here. For you women, you're on your own. It ain't enough men for you. And you're just using the every man that holler at you anyway. And they hollering at all the other women. So, you know, they got better options than you. Especially when shit hit the fan. Especially since you just use them. Why would they put their life on the line for you? When it's a fresh meat. When it's fresh meat to give hope to. Well, I put your life on the line for a woman who just played you until the end of the world came, right? So anyway, you women are through, you're in trouble. Now, let's get some scriptures. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places. All right, not just because of what's happening now, but because of, you know, what's about to take place next. Okay, I can't find that article. Where is it at? It's something about, no, I think it's a YouTube. Okay, yeah, it's YouTube. All right, I ain't gonna speak on it. Something about the banking system with YouTube. Okay, boom. So, 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 8. There should be a confusion also in many places, especially dealing with the money, the food, why all of this mass death is happening. Why is it finally flash floods here, fires here, and all of this and that? Everything's on fire right now except for whoever's listening to this. That's what I'm sure of. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again. And the wild beasts shall change their places. Obviously, all these fires. And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. That's handicapped children. And you know what? With all these grabbing jabs, there's no telling what these babies are going to end up doing, because Glorilla, and I ain't talking about the rapper, Glorilla just said that her hands ain't mutate till she was 15. So maybe, you know, hands are mutate. I don't know. YAHAWAS outside, do what he want.
For free, they're supposed to leave no trace, and that's not going so well right now. And it's supposed to be a communal effort. So everyone's supposed to bring all their food with them, all their drink, and enough to share with other people. But even though it's supposed to end on September 4th, coming up, the question is, are people going to be able to get out of this city in time? And if they can't, well, what about food and water? They only brought so much, you know, with the expectation
That made me think
when they're going to leave. And these people literally can't leave right now. The airport is closed because of the mud. You know, you can't land a plane on mud. And so there's that problem. And the road is completely closed. And you can't even drive around the camp. And just for a perspective state here, we're talking about a mid-sized city that has...
Okay, so the day of the Lord, when he judges the earth, well, every day he brings his judgment to light. And there's no way to escape the judgment of the Lord. Right? Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Right? Every day belongs to the Lord. Right? To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Right? Right? The time of prophecy that we living in is nothing but darkness that's coming for the day of the Lord. Esau think it's the day of Esau or the day of America. Nah, man. The Lord runs this day. This ain't Esau's day. It's the Lord's day. This ain't America's day. It's the Lord's day. It's the Lord's day to jack people, 73,000 people up, man. So it's crazy out here, man. Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is upon us. So what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All right, they thought it was going to be light, sucker-free Sunday, sucker-free Saturday, sucker-free Monday, and then they go home. Nope, it's 73,000 suckers stuck like Chuck. All right. For the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. So they get out of the little, flash flood. They wasn't looking like Chinaman with his flash flood in the car. They get out that they get out their little flash flood. But now they got the mud. To get out the flash flood, they fled from the lion. But now they got to deal with the mud. They trapped like a bear met them. Okay, so, but they still feel safe because they trapped in their little, where they got enough food to last whatever many days or whatever. But the mud is toxic, the food is going to run out, and it's going to rain again. All right, so they feel like they're in the house safe and sound, kind of. But the serpent bit them. And it's cold. It's cold out there. While it's 90 degrees right now in Baltimore at nighttime, it's cold in Vegas right now. 87 degrees in Baltimore right now. I don't know how cold it is where they at in Vegas. We just gonna type in Vegas if I know how to use this thing. $69 tonight. I don't know why he said it was cold. They was gonna be cold out there. Another thing said that. Well, it's gonna be cold when you wet, that's for sure.
Created out of nothing. And they're trapped. And they don't have enough food and water. So, first problem, they're in a lake bed that has turned to mud. And they're getting more rain, so it's not good.
It's going to rain again. Psalms 83, verse 15. So persecute them with thy tempest and make them afraid with thy storm, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAS. Because, you know, they're out there doing the most wickedest acts. Wickedest acts. 73,000 strong. Genesis chapter 9, verse 7. And you be ye fruitful and multiply. Bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein. And all spirits on the earth didn't want to do this. Only select spirits chose to want to do this. All other nations didn't want to do this. The last ones that was blessed with the covenant to want to do it with the will and way of BAHASHAM YAHAWAS was the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, but we went off. Obviously. All right, you could read Leviticus 18 to see all of the things that these nations did. Everything from sex with each other's family members, sex with their spouses' family members, abominations with animals, child sacrifice. All right. Leviticus 18, double check. Leviticus 18, chapter C23 said, no bestiality. Verse 24, defile not yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. All right, and we know America's defiled with all of the laws that they passing openly. So Yahweh has a history of casting out the other nations, and even us when we disobey the land, the laws of the land. All right, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh is not to be messed with. All right, verse 25, and the land is defiled, therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomited out her inhabitants. All right, so whether they traumatize this place for good or not and vomit it out, they're stuck, they're trapped, left to deal with the wrath of the Lord.
Going to go away in the next day or two. So first problem, they're in a lake bed that has turned to mud, and they're getting more rain, so it's not going to go away in the next day or two. Two, the mud is toxic and it just burns the skin. It will also rapidly rust anything it touches, any metal. And three, it's 4 hours to the nearest town, and it's not a big town. It's like a tiny town. 4-hour drive if.
So that town can't house all of those people. This is gonna be one of the greatest stories of judgment of the day for me.
Everything is dry. So there are videos and stuff like that of Jeep. There's a Jeep that I saw a video of, and it's sunk. It's like completely stuck. Like it is up to the hood kind of thing, sunk down into the mud, and I don't know how they're gonna get that thing out. Even once it dries, how do you?
That's not what I don't want to miss what I was looking for, and I haven't seen this since my shift started today, so I don't know where it's at. But Exodus chapter 9, verse 8, and the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh, and it shall become small dust in the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon men and upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt. All right, now this took faith and this took obedience. But the prophet Moses, he did it. Verse 10, and they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh and Moses and sprinkled it up towards heaven, and it became a boil, breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beasts. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boil was upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians. So the whole fact that I'm not thinking it right. The whole fact that the whole fact that they're coming out with rashes because of this toxic mud, and because of damn, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, because the Lord is afflicting these skin diseases, whether it's the flesh-eating drugs or the flesh-eating ocean water or the flesh eating toxic boil out in Nevada. Yahabashim Yahushua is jacking the earth the hell up. Yahabashim Yahushua judge these 73,000 people. Yahabashim Yahushua judge them. Judge them. Judge them. I could pass happy knowing that we close and you just judge 73,000 people like that. That's just beautiful. Beautiful. Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 15. But I would rather have salvation as well and see you judge a whole lot more. Yahabashim Yahushua, especially names that I've called out before. And those men, women, and children that have stopped the men who believe the doctrine of Yahweh in the name of Yahawash, taught by GMS, yeah, I want them to get their judgment too, to stop them from teaching their children and trying their best to give salvation to their children. I would just love for them to be judged too. Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 15. And the Lord will take away from thee all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest upon thee. So no boiled skins, no flesh skins, no a whole bunch of other diseases as well. For thou knowest upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee. 73,000 people out there that hate Israelites.
Get a vehicle like that out. And then problem number 4, we're talking about 73,000 people. It's not a small number. It's a massive number. It takes days for them to leave when the weather's clear. The fact that they can't get out at all right now, it's not like you can helicopter out these people. It's not like, so what do you do? And how are they going to deal with sanitation? They can't move from tent to tent, and so the porta potties that they're using are all caked in mud now, and people just walking out of their tents to the porta johns are getting mud all over themselves, all over the porta johns and everything like that. And I know a bunch of you are just like, who cares?
And see, we have to realize is that these are still the good old days. That's why I'm laughing at you women and like brushing them off like my Edomite servant. Like, get out of here. Like, you're a joke, right? And you're an Edomite. I'm like laughing at all of the women because it's like, it's about to be the end of the world, man. It is the end of the world as y'all know it. And why in the hell am I going to risk my life for anybody who's not going to? That's the problem. Y'all, you women, you have to act right, and you're still acting. You won't be right until Yahabashim Yahushua starts to set things back in his rightful order through your eyes. You start to notice it. All right, that's when you're going to be right or learn how to be right in your natural instinct. I ain't saying you're going to get it, but you're going to start to learn. Because as for now, the best that the so-called Babylon the Great Woman can do, or American Night, or any woman drunk off the wine of Esau Edom, Babylon the Great. That's pursuant to Revelation 18. Go around verse 4. That you women aren't gonna. You women are just acting. Right? And you're all drunk off the wine of Babylon.
Rich people who can fork out all the money to go out to these things, but it's virtue signaling. I get it.
First of all, just think about this. Rich ain't rich. You wanna know why? Because Briggs Bank is trying to back their money by gold, right? But there's not enough gold in the world for everybody. So how in the hell is every single country on earth going to have their money back by gold? It's the biggest scam translated to everyone. It's like we're going from a foam football to a pigskin football. You can't make this up. All right, anybody that, see, there you go again, getting all emotional about money. There's no true emotion, all right? There's no true emotion. It's only what you call it, principles. All right? It's only principles. And And a lot of our principles need to be changed, including minds. But it's only principles, not emotions, with men, with soldiers, with warriors. And if you don't know, you're about to have to go to war for your soul and your flesh. All right? By channeling your soul, your spirit.
But it is actually a major disaster in the making. Like I said.
But to hell with the flesh. It's more the soul. But you know, just the same way you take a bath, you know what I'm saying? You bathe in your flesh because your soul lives there. You know? Make it make sense. Why else would you bathe?
73,000 people with little water, little food, and they're wet and cold now. It has gotten really cold. So much for everything getting warmer all the time, everywhere, right? Record temperatures and everything like that. Well, it's really cold now. And like I said, sanitation is disastrous. And we're going to be talking about, these are some things that have not been confirmed, but are raging all over Twitter now. You'll notice that Ebola is trending. One person has died so far at the Burning Man festival.
YAHAWAS burned somebody with Ebola at the Burning Man Fest. You can't make this up. All right? Can't make this up. They out of here. Ebola, Burning Man flesh, Burning Man body, Burning Man competition. I don't know what's going on.
And
Burning Man Festival, I just read it.
Well, some people are out there saying that a whole bunch of people are getting Ebola. Now, is that really...
Listen, either way, lockdown. Period. All right? Now, they going to do a lockdown off of this? No. But they damn sure got a 9-shot revolver. All right? You got the Running Man, what is it? Yeah, Burning Man. You got the Burning Man festival. You got the Burning Man festival, Ebola outbreak lockdown. All right, you got B131, the new Save Us Joe Dimmick, and then you got the monetary financial, the bank collapse Dimmick, the bank. It's a lot in the chamber. You got the food. Okay, you got the 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. We could just make it a 6-shot. We ain't got to make it a 9-shot, right? Those are rare anyway. So this place is through. Oh yeah, then you got the fires. That's 5. All right, you getting floods. That's 6. You got the hurricanes. That's 7. And you got the earthquakes. That's 8. And you got the 9. You got the Egyptian versus Egyptian. All right.
What's happening? Some people are saying that FEMA is now being deployed because of a possible Ebola outbreak. Is it people are experiencing boils and this kind of stuff? Is that potentially just because the mud's contact with their skin, or is that because there's an infectious disease going on?
Let's get some scriptures. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. It's because the Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. All right? And the Burning Man festival is an iniquity. On top of iniquity, on top of iniquity, on top of... Basically, is Leviticus 18. All right? I don't know how many animals was there. I don't know how many family members was there. But Leviticus 18. All right? The land had to spew them out. Zephaniah 3 and 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So they don't know no shame. Now, a few people know shame. They say, look, I got to get out here for the camera start rolling, and I'm walking back. I don't care what nobody say. I can't let nobody know I'm out here. But the rest of the people, they don't know no shame. They're going to stay hunkered down, hope that they make it. And some of them are going to be exposed if they don't have enough money to pay anybody off, all right? Now, he brought his judgment, 73,000 people. He didn't fail at all. And and they suspected another batch of rain. fucking suspected another batch of rain. Lord willing, YAHAWAS, YAHAWAS, I have it rain, every rain song Jake ever sung on their ass.
Around the camp, people are being jammed together in close confines. If you're familiar at all with what Burning Man exists for, it's like a hippie. It's like Woodstock every year.
So they're forced to be together close in close confines. They think it's the end of the world. They think they're about to die. They're definitely doing more abominable acts. All right? They're definitely doing more abominable acts. They don't know no shame. It didn't make them stop. They didn't say, oh, the Lord is judging us. They said, you know what? We're unjust. We don't know no shame. This is just a cool, what they call it, oh, this is one for the records. It's just one for the records for them.
Basically, free love, virtue signaling, and they worship at their pagan temple. It's explicitly anti-Christian and anti any sort of organized religion, but they do have, every year they build a temple where they worship in, and then they burn the temple, and so they're all like pro the country over in Eastern.
Yeah, BAHASHAM wasn't with none of that. And he proved it. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. You couldn't think more peace and safety to go find a small town, or roll by it, drive off of it for 4 hours, and set up a so-called civilization 73,000 people strong, with no laws about it except for whatever everybody else already agreed to before they drove all the way out there, because you can't be no bum to get out there. All right, the other guy said you got to have at least 5 bands to even start the journey. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Eastern Europe, so they have this big sculpture to them, and like why we're not giving enough money to them and all this kind of stuff like that. It's as woke as you can possibly be, and then like go a few steps further.
Slakia, the youngest one looks about 7, 8. She definitely is smaller than my daughter, or is it the same height? So 10. 6 different entities should all have the same human parts that the 10-year-old little girl had, and they all going to see little baby. All right? YAHAWAS, YAHAWAS, Baba Kasha. Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha. Ohio or Texas? I'm nervous, but Ohio or Texas, Baba Kasha. I get the fuck out of here, man.